Welcome back to FactUp, where we dive deep into the minds of history's greatest thinkers. Today, we're discussing a topic that has intrigued scholars and philosophers for centuries. Why did Socrates, one of the most celebrated philosophers in history, dislike democracy? If you're new to the channel and want to learn more about Socrates' life and philosophy, check out our previous video where we explored his journey. But today, we're focusing solely on his views on democracy. Socrates lived in Athens during its golden age, a time when democracy was at its peak. Yet, despite being in the heart of one of the first democratic societies, Socrates was highly critical of democracy. But why? Let's delve into his philosophical reasoning. To understand Socrates' disdain for democracy, we must first grasp his fundamental belief in the importance of knowledge and virtue. Socrates believed that true wisdom was rare, and it was only through rigorous questioning and dialogue that one could approach the truth. However, in a democracy, decisions are made by the majority, regardless of their knowledge or expertise. For Socrates, this was a fundamental flaw. In Plato's Republic, Socrates uses the analogy of a ship to illustrate his point. Imagine a ship where the captain is chosen not based on their knowledge of navigation, but by a vote from the crew. Most of the crew are untrained and inexperienced. Would you trust that ship to reach its destination safely? Socrates argued that ruling a state is far more complex than steering a ship, yet democracy entrusts this task to those who may be unqualified. Socrates also criticized the susceptibility of the masses to persuasion. He believed that demagogues, charismatic leaders who appeal to people's emotions rather than reason, could easily sway public opinion, leading to poor decision-making. In his view, democracy could easily devolve into mob rule, where the loudest voices, rather than the wisest, dictate policy. Socrates' skepticism of democracy wasn't just theoretical, it had real-life consequences. In 399 BCE, Socrates was put on trial by the Athenian democracy, accused of corrupting the youth and introducing new gods. The trial is a prime example of the flaws Socrates saw in democracy. The jury, composed of 500 ordinary Athenian citizens, found Socrates guilty and sentenced him to death. Socrates argued that he was a victim of ignorance and prejudice, pointing out that the democratic system allowed those who lacked wisdom to make decisions of great consequence. His death was, in a way, the ultimate vindication of his critique. Democracy had condemned its greatest critic for simply speaking the truth. This example from history isn't just an ancient tale, it has echoes in our world today. Consider how easily public opinion can be manipulated by charismatic leaders, or how complex issues are often oversimplified in the court of public opinion. Socrates' concerns about democracy are just as relevant now as they were 400 years ago. Socrates' critique of democracy invites us to reflect on our own political systems. Are we, like the Athenians, too easily swayed by emotion and rhetoric? Do we place more value on popularity than on wisdom and expertise? These are questions worth pondering, especially in an era where information and misinformation spreads at lightning speed. While democracy remains the most widely accepted form of government today, Socrates' insights remind us that it is not without its flaws. It challenges us to strive for a system where decisions are made by those who seek truth and wisdom, rather than by those who are merely popular. In conclusion, Socrates' criticism of democracy was rooted in his belief that governance requires wisdom, not just the will of the majority. He warned of the dangers of mob rule and the influence of demagogues, warnings that remain relevant in today's world. If you found this discussion intriguing, make sure to check out our other videos on ancient philosophy and how it still impacts our world today. Don't forget to subscribe to FactUp for more thought-provoking content. Your support helps us continue to explore the ideas that shaped history and still resonate today. See you in the next video.